Well, here we go, guys. We're in Game 2 of this Best of 2 series for the Requiem Autumn League. We've got Dinosaurchestra versus no match this week. So there is a match this week. They are a team name. It's not just a meme, because they might have gotten away with last season having their team name as this and confused people and thought that there wasn't actually a game. Or I could just be lying. Either way, the speculation of it is hilarious. So let's just go with it. No Elder Titan. He's going to get banned immediately out. Personally, I put him as one of my top bans as well, so I definitely advocate it. And Dinosaurchestra getting rid of the Dazzler.
I kind of wonder what they have against Dazzle specifically.
They banned Dazzle last game, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with banning Dazzle, they also saw T2 run Oracle. So I kind of want to throw an Oracle ban here. Nah. No Void. I mean, wait.
Well, there's no Mirana either. And you didn't really voice anything on that.
Nobody likes playing with Mirana.
Well, I mean, if they already banned out the Void, then why would they really have to worry about the Mirana? Because they were definitely running them in tandem. Although people say that Mirana and Void independently are still super strong right now. I don't know how well these guys have been executing the Faceless Voids. The Sven was just way too strong, I guess.
5 seconds remaining.
So with that being said, like you see, our first picks, Ogre and Oracle.
Yeah.
2 supports.
Not much has been shown. Yeah. We've seen a few Ogres picked up this evening. Nice to see him coming back into play. I wonder if we'll have a level 2 Bloodlust as well. That still confused me. There was Bloodlust chosen at level 2.
That's the thing that happens a lot with Ogres.
Oh, man. Oracle Drow.
Well,
they're going to grab a Lion. I've been seeing that all day. Oracle Lion squad.
I feel sorry for some towers, man. Be hurt.
We're going to have some serious push coming out of Dinosaurchestra right now. And no match this week, getting a Vengeful Spirit. I like Venge against Drow. Being able to swap her into a bad situation is a pretty good way to deal with her. No Medusa. That's a good ban. Medusa, Drow would be pretty irritating for them to deal with. And Oracle is able to keep Medusa in a fight for a pretty long time.
Yeah, Dinosaurchestra taking out the Slark, something that can slide in on the Drow, take away her marksmanship.
Yeah, exactly.
Could also Dark Pact off the inevitable gust that would try to slow him down. So it's a good look by the Dinosaurchestra.
Yeah, I totally agree with these choices. Wondering if they're going to put any concern in on like the Spirit Breaker. I know other teams have put priority in, and if running Drow, then banning Spirit Breaker. But they could also be putting some attention on the mid lane, some heroes they don't want the team to deal with as an overall. Maybe if they're concerned about like an Invoker or a Tinker or something along those lines. Something that would just kind of dominate the mid game phase and make it really difficult for Drow to farm. And a Storm Spirit definitely could be that.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of mid banning.
Yeah, Storm Spirit, the jump is super strong. He can manipulate a fight relatively well. Make Oracle spend his mana pretty ineffectively by trying to pass around heals or purges or stuns and not really needing to.
And no match and respond. Taking out the Invoker you were talking about. Something that would have been looking very good with Drow. Would have been paired up with some Precision Aura.
Oh, yeah. Forge Spirits.
Impressive. Yeah, that would have been oppressive.
You think we got a possibility of a Visage? I know we always hope and dream, but you think we'll have it?
I don't think so. Because it's, where do you see it played? Now, again, this is not to say that these are the kind of people that strictly follow what happens in the pro scene, but Visage isn't seen too much anywhere.
He just got buffed, though.
But he's still hard to play.
Yeah, it just comes down to that.
So you think they happen to have an amazing Visage player that's going to make up for the fact that it's not really an amazing looking hero right now?
No idea. Requiem Autumn.
What?
My excuse is just it's Requiem Autumn. You know, you've
Okay.
got such a huge range of players. You've got no idea what you're gonna see. That's really it.
I can agree with that.
And
Here's a
I think that's what makes it so much fun.
Here's a question I have for you on another path.
On another plane.
Is this a support or a mid Kunkka?
No idea.
No
I think
idea.
it's too early to call it right now.
It is. I was just asking, see if you had an idea.
Oh my god, what if they get a coddle? Did you see the thing where you can use a level 4 chakra magic on Kunkka and do double Tidebringer back to back?
I have a friend that pretty much anytime he plays Kunkka, he asks me to pick Coddle for that. Just specifically for that.
What if we see that? Because that would be a great addition to their squad.
10 seconds remaining.
You
I
think
could
they'd
see it
release
happen. I could see a coddle happening.
Oh, man.
Because,
I mean,
he's good for helping Oracle out, so he can feed Oracle mana so that Oracle can keep people healed. I'm pushing for a coddle.
You really like some gimmicky stuff, don't you?
I think it's just fun to see. Wouldn't you, as a caster, be hoping for some glory, some Kunkka coddle?
I mean, I'm still trying to get warmed up to this idea at all. I mean, you want Coddle, and we've got two arch rivals over here on the same team. The Tide going to be off-laning for the Kunkka, so...
This could be
I
a support Kunkka at this point.
Yeah, it's possible.
They're not really taking up much precedence in the whole Drow Ranger, ultimate synergy. I would expect them to run more range than just the two.
I kind of think they're thinking along the lines of the blanket, it's Drow right now, and Drow's honestly really good wherever you put her. I mean, yeah, she's better in a lineup where you have people to, let me diplomatically say, use her precision aura. I really want to say abuse.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Even if you don't have the range cores to go with it, she's still Drow. She's still really good right now. Like, I mean, look at what No Match has. They're gonna have an axe, eventually getting a blink dagger, and they're gonna have a venge. And we're assuming this is a support venge. So she's not gonna have the luxury of like an Aether Lens or a blink dagger in a really timely manner. So even though they have ways to get through or to the Drow, they're gonna have to fight through a Tide Hunter, right? And that's not gonna be the easiest thing for Nomad. I think.
We think. So Dinosaurchestra banning out the Tinker, No Match picking up the Juggernaut. Juggernaut really good to go against Drow because you can get on top of her and stay on top of her. Razor ban out, a little bit surprising, but I could see it as a mid matchup if they're perceiving that Kunkka will be in the mid lane from Dinosaurchestra.
Either taking him out as the mid or taking him out later on down the road as the anti-carry that he is. Seeing as
A lot of different landing options for both teams right now, because if Kunkka's ran mid, then Axe or Juggernaut by virtue could also be as well.
Reserve time.
a lot of flexibility on the table. I'm just kind of running through my head any possibility that could happen for this last pick for No Match. And
yeah, at the same time, like both teams have a little bit of an interesting appeal of where their draft is. I think No Match could have their Axe as an offlaner, and then they could just be looking at a mid lane. But if they think that Kunkka may be mid, then they could maybe be trying for this Axe to be a mid or Juggernaut
or Judd.
It really comes down to the chess-like theory that they think that Dinosaur could be having. Now, in terms of where I feel we could have some really strong initiation and roaming sort of potential, I think a Quap could be good.
You're a fan of Quap?
I think Quap could be a good pace maker in this game because they banned out the Storm Spirit, and I think Quap fulfills a very similar role in some regard. The ability to jump in, get a quick kill, or unleash a lot of magic damage, and then get out early.
How about this guy right here?
Hey, they're going for the 5-man. That's all that tells me. It's like you get Viper, we want to group up and we want to go.
Yeah, the lane winner himself.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Get that
there's
early
nothing
mech,
wrong.
push it out. You know, we won't call you cancerous for picking out the Viper.
No, that's exactly why I didn't say that. That's just my nickname for him because that's his job. You pick Viper to slap him in a lane and say, this one is ours.
So you think we're gonna see an Oracle from, or excuse me, a Huskar from Dinosaurchestra? Last pick. Sniper? Oh, this is worse. This is worse.
Who is this little bitchy?
This is worse. God
Wait,
damn it.
Wait. I mean, I'm going to have to get to this right now. Over here on the Dinosaurchestra, fitting to his name, living up to his legend, Clint Eastwood picks up the sniper. How much do you think he begged for that?
I don't know. Maybe it was their plan all along.
Oh, man. But following up with the rest of the Dinosaurchestra, you have Regelius playing the Oracle, Spoof on the Tie Hunter, Ghost Pepper playing Drow Ranger, and Snow on the Kunkka. That was just registering in my mind that, yes, this is indeed going to be a support Kunkka since Snow was the Rubik player last game. Who we got on no match this week?
Well, we got BO2 Pro on the axe. He's in the off lane right now. He's just rolling out with an Iron Talon. He'll probably be jungling really early and abandoning the lane. We got T2 on the Vengeful Spirit. Early smoke on her, so we can maybe expect some rotations coming out. Greed is our Juggernaut, and 416 is our Ogre. And last but not least, ya boy, Viper is going to be rocking in mid. So Spoof getting out some early vision now, and they're going to be pinging it out already. Greed pinging it out and going, oh, it's right there, guys. Pinging. So who knows if they have sentries to counter it. Yep, T2 does, so you could probably expect to get that countered immediately, and then Spoof gets sad. Oh, just barely in range. Just barely.
Just the tip.
That's all you need.
Enjoy yourself, but not too much.
Alright, well, Clint Eastwood is going to get the rune top. Viper's going to get the rune bot. And classic matchup of Sniper versus Viper mid. How do you like this? With Sniper getting take aim at level 1. How do you like this?
I was going to say how classic is this because these are two heroes that you don't really see that often in the current meta.
This is very classic. I don't even know how far back Dota this would be. 683?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty far
683
back,
was the ho ho ha ha.
but this isn't something we haven't seen in a while. So you're asking somebody who's not really up to snuff for what
I don't
happened.
know, man. It's classy. That's all I know.
I'm glad you know.
All I know is that it's classy. That's all I got.
What I do know is these two offlaners are looking kind of sad as they're both getting bullied around.
Yeah,
right now.
BO2 Pro just got zoned out really hard by Regalius with the Fortune's End and a couple little tickles of Tidebringer, too. Now, looking at what Spoof has, looking at what Axe has, I think Axe is going to fall back on the jungle immediately. Spoof is going to still try to resort to the lane a little bit more. But Spoof also has not put a point in anything yet. I don't know what he's waiting for. Whether he's thinking if he wants to go into Kraken Shell, or if Anchor Smash first would be the better option for him.
Yeah, he got his anchor smash. Maybe he was trying to see if he can test the waters, pun intended, see how hard they were going to pressure him in the lane before he had to fall back into the jungle himself. And he hasn't. Well, I thought he was walking over there. He got his level 2 in.
Whoa.
Top lane. That's my fault. I was talking too much. Looks like Bobo decided to poke his head up in the top lane one more time, and with the help of this ward, Regalius and Snow cut him down to size.
Yeah, Regalius didn't even need to use his Fortune's End in that fight. Well, actually, yes, he did, because his mana's at 170. But Snow is getting some kills with Kunkka, and with not even having Torrent level 1, that's kind of like the surprising part of it all. Didn't even need to use Torrent early on, and typically that's how you make Kunkka effective early in. It's not going to be Tidebringer. As the game scales, of course, Tidebringer is awesome. BO2 Pro off in the jungle.
Speaking of Tidebringer, since we have a little bit of a sec, it is kind of interesting to note that Snow did level Tidebringer first, or he's leveling it, because, you know, there's two, I want to say there's two theories of support Kunkka right now. The more common one that you saw Lanham bring back into the meta with maxing Tidebringer first so that you can play Kunkka as a greedy 4, or one that you tend to see more in pubs where you don't level Tidebringer until like you have X in Torrent Max. But with this stack, I kind of get the impression that they're going to try to give Snow a lot of room to turn him into a big beefy 4.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn into a semi at some point in time in the game. It's only inevitable. And now he's actually wrapping around on the mid lane. Is he going to try and have something pulled out for your boy?
But more importantly, in the bottom lane, starting with the Ignite.
Bum bum ba-dum.
And T2 stun. They were able to run down the Tide and even it up 1-1.
Yeah, and Ogre did opt for the level 2 Bloodlust.
See, I don't know why you were so surprised about that. That's the thing.
I still feel like that's not a thing.
It's a thing.
Because like it's not that much at level 1.
It's not, but where people value it is the decreased mana cost. Like I get what you're saying. You're thinking, why in the world would you pass up a stun? Why would you pass up control? Even just lane control at level 2. But some people, I have to say a lot of people, value the movement speed to chase somebody down. Even if it's not yourself, it might just be your core, in this case Greed, who got in there with the spin, or an extra right click here or there, which was not needed.
Mm-hmm. So Dire's got this huge stack up in the jungle that they've been progressively working on. That's going to be great for Regalius to farm out, or to just the Drow Ranger at some point in time. And meanwhile in mid, T2 and 416 smoked up behind you boy. 416 actually breaks his own smoke against the tower. T2 is still smoked up. They might want to look to try and see if they can get on their smooth skin, or just rotate back in on Clint Eastwood. T2 wanting to pincer from the front. Oh, there's the courier in the back.
I don't think you saw the courier.
No. T2 trying for the pincer. Nope. He's not going to be able to get in there. Snow is on point also. He'll be able to do some damage if he needs to. That Tidebringer level 2. So he's opting for like the... I'd expect like the 1-2-1, then like level 5 in Tidebringer also probably.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll go what I call full Lanham and go which is basically just mid Kunkka. With that being said,
T2 and 416. Heavy damage on Spoof. Spoof kind of wandering off though. He'll be okay. Snow was like bottle crowing? No, he was just screwing with the courier for a minute. Were you expecting mid lane to go this way? Yes. Yes.
Sure. Again, you're talking to somebody that I just walk to a mid lane every now and then and try to harass the other guy and maybe take him down.
Well, it's interesting because Viper's pushing the lane so hard on Clint Eastwood, but Clint Eastwood's dominating him in last hits and denies.
I haven't been watching the mid too heavily, and yeah, these denies are.
He's at 15 denies. He's got all this damage from the Drow. I mean, it's only 26 right now. 26.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what you want me to say, but what was crossing my mind?
Uh-oh, at the top lane, Regalius is going to have to Fortune's End, and BO2 Pro is getting initiated on by Ghost Pepper. A couple more right clicks, and he's going to fall. And are they going to be able to hit T2 with the Torrent? It does connect, but nothing else to really matter there. One Tidebringer strike.
Oh, this is a very unfortunate DC.
Yeah.
I didn't know where 416 was. He's kind of out there in no man's land right now.
That's not good.
Oh, not at all. I mean, he's a tanky ogre, but he's a tanky ogre. He has a stun, and I was going to say there's no skills up, but Regalius has a level 2 Purifying Flame, so it's not looking good for our two-headed ogre right now.
Poke.
Double kill.
Double kill for the Ghost Pepper, man. So this game is definitely going in Dino's favor. They're really asserting their dominance with all that range damage. I mean, just Drow Ranger's in such a weird spot, and she's kicking butt. And Clint Eastwood is dominating by virtue of this precision aura of Drow Ranger doing well. He's actually auto-attacking in the lane to kind of counteract your boy with this headdress being able to pressure and push so much more so. And also the auto attacking. That's definitely a thing too.
T2 smoked up mid again. He has some wards on him. Solo smoke. Walking around mid. Maybe just looking for a... Well, I thought he was looking for a ward. He's got his eyes set on Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Snow's just kind of wandering around. I think Clint Eastwood might be in a little bit of a problem. No, Viper's just kind of tickling him a little bit and wandering off on his merry way. Greed's just been in free farmland bottom. Again, just like last game. Greed is good, 999. The cheat for all of the gold and lumber on Warcraft 3. Whatever.
I've never played Warcraft, so that's far above my head.
It's okay. It's okay.
T2's walking bottom with
Spoof whiffing the Ravage on nothing. Greed able to be already mid-spin. T2 able to get that kill in the end. Snow off the mark with his torrent. Greed's going to try and follow up in there, and the kitty cat gets dropped. He's going to heal, and he's going to die. Double kill going way of the Juggernaut. I was mid-sip on my beverage.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. I saw T2 walking down there with the Arcane Rune, and I was really focused on the gank that he was going to get. Didn't realize that that Spoof had got 6, but seemed like that, well, there's no seem, clearly can say that the Ravage just went to waste.
Greed's in a little bit of a deep spot, and Spoof might be able to punish him for it. He's going to get stunned out by T2, so Greed will probably have a safe escape, though. And rip.
Meanwhile, in the top lane.
Yeah, they're trying to be really aggressive on Snow.
Yeah, just straight past the tier 1.
Ogre doesn't even have any mana, but Boboto Pro's like, yo, fight me, man. I'm an Axe. And now he's running. And then Axe is... Okay, they're kind of having a standoff where they just run back and forth, but I like it. So as Viper leaves the mid lane, having been bullied out by the Sniper, Sniper, in his majestic glory, may choose to push the tower with his plus 40 precision aura damage from the Drow Ranger.
Really? Plus, oh.
It's only plus 40 right now. Just wait,
Only?
It'll be more soon.
I mean, yeah, but only plus 40. All right.
Well, just wait. She's about to level up. Then it'll be more. See, now it's 41. Look at that. Dreams do come true. Alright, let's see. Is Oracle going to get the tome? I hope so. Okay, they're pinging out that they know that he is invisible. They saw that with that ward in mid lane. And Clint Eastwood already broke it off. He'll have his Dragonlance pretty soon. We've got your boy and T2 in the mid lane. T2 trying to build some space for your boy. He does not have swap. He could buy the tome and get that early level 6. But he's hiding in the trees. He's looking for the opportunity. The scream's going to come out. Gives off his positioning, and he's not able to get it. He actually zones out Clint Eastwood. He uses the phase boots and retreats. Tower may be under pressure. Maybe getting hit by Blightstone, but not really doing anything in the long run. Spoof stacking up Ancients in the meantime. And Reglius, now having completed his mana boots, passing off some mana to Mr. Clint Eastwood, and on his merry way to deliver goodies and treats to all the good little boys and girls.
I don't know if we mentioned that the top tier 1 went down.
Yeah, that must have just happened. Drow has the Dragonlance picked up now, too.
I think it's been down for a little bit, but we were kind of focused on Clint Eastwood in the middle. But if you take a look at the net worth chart, it looks a little different from last game because Ghost Pepper is actually above Clint Eastwood, or not Clint Eastwood, Greed this time around. That's not going to last for long. If Greed could get the kill, he couldn't get the tide. He's trying to find Snow.
Killing spree.
Gets him with the help of your boy, TPing down to the bottom lane.
Yeah, and your boy's going to have a mech online really soon. Only 300 gold out at this point. And then the push is going to be amongst them. They're just going to man up and keep going with that mech. Take down all the towers systematically.
Boy going on a little bit of a scouting mission. I was thinking that he might stay bottom and take the tier 1.
Look at this axe farming at like no HP. Would you do this? Drop your boots too?
I mean, who's going to come in the jungle after him? They're too busy offing ogres in the middle lane.
It's a pretty spooky situation. But he's definitely spin to winning. He's going to have a blink soon, so Axe is going to be able to be up in those fights, acting as the initiator.
Said soon, he hasn't now. And something else that we haven't pointed out is that Greed did eventually take down the bottom tier 1. But speaking of bottom tier 1s, and close to that area, a little bit of an engagement. They both back away from each other. Snow throwing T2 throwing a stun in Snow's face.
Yeah, this ancient stack is absolutely huge. They're going to have to start farming that out at this point. Ghost Pepper has his Dragonlance finished. So does Sniper. And Sniper now working towards his Maelstrom. Ghost Pepper working towards Helmadam at this point too. So they'll be able to continue the stacking progression. And Spoof and Bobo2 Pro. Fire is happening and Spoof is just going to get out of there with his ultimate. Bobo2 Pro is going to fall down too. Snow getting a double kill in the end. They're continuing the pursuit up as 3. T2 now going to fall to the Ghost Pepper probably from a couple of hits. But we get a quick multicast on Ghost Pepper. The tide's been turning now. Regalius able to get out the Fate's Edict along with the False Promise on Snow. They might be able to continue in and follow up on a kill on your boy. And look at that. A 1 for 5.
The only thing No Match was able to pull out of that was the Tide, who was trying to farm his stack. All of that, the downfall of a reconnaissance mission that started a little while ago. And Dinosaurchestra coming out big. Still hanging around the bottom. Don't really have the means to pressure the tier 1, but just hanging out in the area, trying to keep Greed contained. And Greed actually walking at him with
Greed wants an ultimate in your face, and he's not going to get anyone.
Yeah, he got unlucky bounces.
See, here's the problem. 120 seconds is the amount of time he's going to be waiting at this point. He should have waited to level 11. He could have farmed the small camp, the large camp, then the mid lane, or then his creep wave in the lane, and he would have 100% been 11.
Now,
or he could have just farmed out like 2 waves and the large camp.
Think about this for a second. Would he be living up to his name if he did that, though?
Yeah, but a level 11 ult, we've got 6 slashes, not 9 if Scepter.
But he went for the Greed play.
He just went for the kill, recognizing that he couldn't get it because he needed 1 more point in his ultimate.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. It was enough to get him off the map and back to their base, but
that built some space for him to farm, but it's not going to get him any kills. So then it comes to the question, is it better to maim them and have them waste the time? I don't think so.
Nah, I totally agree. I'm just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate here.
Oh, I got you. And Greed's got a DD, and he's got a Bloodlust, and he's running towards the middle lane. He's going to come up and farm. Yeah, he's going to be okay there.
Yeah, he's not going to go up and Omni anybody, not for another 43 seconds.
Nope, but this Oracle is in a pretty tough situation. They're backing up as 3 in the team. Bobo2 Pro and Spoof kind of contending a little bit here. And Axe. Oh, Spoof has now been stunned out. He has Ravage available if he wants to use it, and he's just probably gonna. Oh, he will drop the Ravage. Stun's gonna go off on 3. The boat, the Torrent, both land perfectly. Spoof is gonna be able to get healed up. Bobo2 Pro is gonna need to disengage here, and now T2 is on the retreat. Snow is gonna try and get in here. He has the phase boots. He'll be able to get in directly on top of T2 if needed. Wow, the tree line is cut so deep, but she has no TP scroll.
Yeah. Looking not good for T2 at all. TP being the only chance he would have had because Snow only has level 1X. But
so in mid lane we missed Drow, just killed Viper, and now Bobo2 Pro is initiated on Ghost Pepper, and there's a quick dunk. Easy peasy.
We should catch up on some items.
Yeah, so Viper has just picked up the mechanism, Axe with the blink. Ogre probably opting for, what does it look like? Maybe Force, we're not sure yet, just a casual ringer regen. Juggernaut with the Yasha in tow, probably in the direction of Manta or SNY. Both would be okay. Maybe SNY a little bit better. The only thing that they'd be worried about would be the silence from the Drow. Or maybe the Fortune's End from the Oracle. Kunkka now just finished the armlet. That's a pretty big pickup for him. That's going to increase the damage of his Tidebringer by a ton. And everything else item-wise you pretty much already knew about. Tidehunter's going to have his mechanism online relatively soon, so that'll be good. He actually has the recipe in the base, so that'll be something we can look forward to relatively shortly.
That was something that I was going to ask about or kind of point out. He has his mechanism right now, like you said. Even though he's the offlaner and he was going to be the mech carrier, is there any world where it might have been okay for him to get a blink first, assuming, or I can't even assume because they're a team, knowing that the Kunkka wasn't going to get X first, but let's worry about that later because at the tier 2, a boat getting whipped as Bobo got a little bit of a scare out of the Dinosaurchestra.
Snow might be able to grab someone with an X mark the spot, but he's going to disengage and just retreat a little bit.
Yeah, he still has level 1X. He's not catching anybody with that.
So I think going right for mech rather than getting the blink is perfectly fine in this game. With the way that they are approaching them in these fights. Uh-oh, we got a big call off on Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood now is in a really bad situation. But now it's Greed that they've turned in the tide. Spoof, huge ravage off on 3. T2 falling immediately. 416, he's going to follow as well. This Clint Eastwood and Ghost Pepper just doing so much damage. And now Bobo the Pro blinking out in just the nick of time. He'll have 4 staff up in a couple seconds as well. He needs to just get out of there and abandon that tower. Plus 59 damage on Precision Aura.
I think that was a scenario where they weren't, or no match wasn't really on the same page, because while Dinosaurchestra was engaging onto the Ogre and the Jug, you had T2 on the Venge trying to come up the river, and it looked like he was going to try to swap Ghost Pepper in, as opposed to being in a better position to where he could have swapped Greed out and tried to save him. It happened sometime, but just wanted to point that out.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But it looks like no match wants to have a match down here at their tier 2.
Oh yeah, they're initiating in this 5. Bobo gets the stun off with Clint Eastwood in the follow-up as well. There comes the boat out on 2. They're both going to die immediately. Your boy gets out the mech, but it's not going to do anything. Clint Eastwood, he's coming in here with the approach. Shrapnel is dropped. Your boy getting stunned out. Spoof trying to keep their damage down. 416 getting assassinated out. Spoof not going to continue the pursuit at that point. They're going to be able to zone them out and just take this tower. Easy peasy. 3-man wipe. And the tower, glorious.
The combo of Spoof and Snow, the forward positioning of Spoof to time and time again set up Snow has been immaculate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
These towers are dying so fast.
I mean, they have Drow.
And
Like,
Sniper.
Oh,
Sniper
okay.
dealing just as much damage. Maybe a little bit less.
He's not the one with the precision aura. You want to
He's
cross
the one
number?
benefiting of it.
That is true.
So he's doing 227 damage and attacking 0.73 times a second. Ghost Pepper doing 179 plus 85 and attacking 0.57 per second.
Hey,
However,
we're not worried about that.
uh-oh, Bobo the Pro blinking in and initiating on everybody. The call is long. There's the Ravage as well. Boat's going to connect on 2. 416 going to go down. The mechanism not able to do enough for them. Greed now forced to try and retreat here. Your boy just going to get right-click down, and there he goes. Clint Eastwood going to try and continue the approach after Kunkka has fallen. T2 on the retreat, and he's just going to get clicked down. Greed will definitely get out, though.
That fight, well, I can't say it was pretty simple because if I say it was simple, that would be me pretending to know all the intricacies. But from what I saw, it was the same thing that I pointed out at the tier 2 tower bottom, and the same thing that I pointed out, or that I alluded to at tier 2, the dire tier 2. Bobo led the charge. They knew they were in the roast pit. No match knew that Dinosaurchestra was in the roast pit. So he runs in, blinks in, he gets a call. But not Snow, Spoof. Spoof is in this position to get a huge ravage. I think it hit 4 people, but it hit 2 people close enough that Snow could instantly delete 2 no match people with a boat.
Well, he had the torrent too.
Ravage, torrent, and boat. Okay, look, they bodied him. That's all that needs to be said.
They couldn't even respond. They couldn't even move. And it was their Venge and their Ogre. So then, after they've eliminated both of their heroes that allow control of the fights, they're just pretty much disassembled as a team.
Like I said, those two, I'm liking how those two are
BO2
working.
Pro on the approach. Is he going to look to try and fight here? Uh-oh, no, he's getting X'd out. There comes the torrent, and boop-a-doop-a-doop, he falls. 416, now a sacrificial lamb as well. They both kind of just stumbled into death. That was kind of confusing, to be quite honest. So in all that number crunching yada yada, I think the factors really come into play is the headshot and the maelstrom versus... That's going to be the disparities that would maybe equalize the amount of damage that they both do overall, since... Drow doesn't have any passive proccing abilities, but attacks faster with more damage. Clint Eastwood has headshot and maelstrom procs. So, like, the damage would be pretty close. Oh, he's got Mjolnir now. So, yeah, he definitely does more damage. Yeah.
It's no fair when you wait 3 minutes to try to throw the numbers out there and make yourself...
Yo, I was working on it, and then there was a team fight, and then he finished on Mjolnir.
Calculator.
I was not using a calculator.
Nah, I heard you crunching the numbers over there. Don't try that.
Oh, whatever. BO2 Pro is ready for this. He's going to go in on Clint Eastwood. He gets the big elf out, but Spoof, he's gone for the boat with the Ravage, and nope, a couple people just got deleted again. With the big ultimate coming out from Greed, they know nothing's really going to happen, and they're able to just kind of push him back, take out the tower, and I could see them just kind of getting, you know, disintegrated from here. The amount of damage that both Ghost Pepper and Clint Eastwood do on these racks is so much. They're going to be able to drop them so fast.
Yeah.
There goes 1, there goes 2. They can't swing mid, but they could go bottom.
I don't think they have the nerve to walk across their base and take that tier 3 down there.
Well,
They look like they want to protect this nice beefy lead they have, and I don't blame them one bit.
hey. It's only like a 20k lead.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No match can bring this back.
20k lead. Absolutely astronomical.
Oh, look. You can't pretend like you haven't seen it happen. It's a long shot. It's looking pretty grim for no match. But you can't rule them out yet, which is why they haven't tapped.
Well, the Juggernaut, a little bit over 10k net worth versus this Drow at 13 and Sniper at 15. So there is definitely a disparity in that regard. And then it's the Kunkka and the Tide. So this, like, the Vengeful Spirit and the Ogre, they're just so worthless right now. And that is just the hardest thing in this game. How do you make these guys with so little money, how do you make them effective at this point?
Well, the Ogre...
Because Ogre still has a Tango sitting in his inventory.
The Ogre, in my eyes, still has a little bit of worth, as like he's doing now. He can Bloodlust the Viper, he can Bloodlust the Jug, and while they're not engaging, that accelerates their farm a little bit. In fights, that gives them a little more damage. The Venge, I'm questionable about. And it was what I was thinking in the draft when it was all said and done. It's not that she doesn't have a job that she wants to do. She wants to swap in the Drow. But how does she get past the Tide that's always in position? And this is a Tide that has a Blink Dagger. Like, he's been winning fights. He's been setting up fights without a Blink Dagger. But now he can get the positioning he so chooses.
Yeah, and he has Greaves too. So, like, Blink and Greaves is going to be absolutely huge for him to have perfect positioning for these Ravages.
Yeah, so Venge is the one hero that's looking very suspect, right? Because here's something that I just thought about. Have we even seen no match push Dinosaurchestra so far as to need a false promise? I don't think we've seen one.
He's definitely been using False Promise.
You have more.
I mean,
you have more awareness than I do, because
he's definitely been using it in these fights. So
At least
Juggernaut opted for Manta as his first bigger item. I feel like he may have been in a better position if he went like Yasha Vanguard to have some sustain, and then followed up with like Manta afterwards,
I
because
can see that.
it would give him a little bit more sustainability in the lane. He would have already had the increased farming speed from the Yasha. The Vanguard lets him be a little bit more durable. Then he follows up with the Manta style, and then he can just go immediately into his Abyssal, which he's gonna want anyway.
Now, what does a Manta do for him now?
I mean, he's taking off Gust.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't even know if it takes off Fortune's End. I don't know if it does or not, because it's a bind. Maybe it does. I think it does.
I think it does, but is that really his biggest concern right now?
Nah. But Drow Ranger has 4,700 gold on her. Sniper, 3,700 at this point, so we're going to expect more big items coming out for Team Dino. What do you think we're going to have?
I have no clue, man.
This Drow never upgraded the Morbid Mask, sitting at 4,800 now.
I kind of laugh.
There goes
because
Aegis.
In a scenario like this, I would usually say, what do you get? A gun? But Dinosaurchestra literally has a gun over there. I don't know what else they need at this point. They look like they're sitting very pretty right now.
So Drow opted for the Eagle Song. So now Sniper gets plus 79 damage. Plus 79 damage.
Hey, you know who else gets plus 79 damage? Oracle.
This is true. Oracle has more plus damage than his base damage. It's so adorable.
A little bit of a
Greed getting initiated on right now. He's going to use his Blade Fury and retreat ever so slightly. BO2 Pro. He's on the prowl. He's in the trees. He might be able to find 2 or 3 with a good call. BO2 Pro. He's looking for it. He's looking for it. He wants it. He sees 1. He sees 2. He sees 3. Is he going to go for it? I don't know. Oh, Bobo is so deep in these tree line. I'm so surprised he hasn't been seen by Salt Spoof. Oh, but there goes the call off on Clint Eastwood. He's going to try and get the dunk, and he does get it. Spoof has the Ravage ready. He already used the Greaves. He's going to get stunned out, and here comes the boat to follow up. That's going to give Spoof a little bit of extra HP in the fight. And now Greed's going to fall. Pop.
That's not enough to make Dinosaurchestra go away, and that's the bigger problem here.
Oh no,
416 tried to
Ghost
get
Pepper
the
just
deny.
does so much. He's going to just take it down.
Yeah, 416 tried to get the deny, but yeah, he can't compete with that. Not anytime this year. I will say that even though that wasn't a full-on engagement, there was a slight silver lining in that fight, in that no match didn't get wiped somehow, but it was more the fact that Spoof couldn't find his way deep into the line. Like, he couldn't break the front line to get a big ravage. Snow threw out the boat more in a defensive posture to keep Spoof alive, but they still got the tower, so still not looking good for Nomad.
So
Still
Butterfly
looking
has
great
been
for
picked
Dinosaur.
up on the Drow Ranger, and at the same time we now have a Diffusal Blade on the Juggernaut.
Fusel on Jug.
Well, he can
What do
take
you-
the Gust off of himself.
Yeah, I was like, what do
He
you
can slow down the
defuse?
enemy. He could diffuse the Fate's Edict, or the Fortune's End,
The Face Edict
or the
is actually-
Purifying Flames.
I will not forget this.
The Face Edict is a big one.
He can dispel any of those. I think the big benefit's going to be the slow, the active slow usage. Now, if we mix it up and take a look at both teams' vision right now, we can see that the Radiant only looking up and seeing like in this like concave up over to their like secret shop, whereas the Dire having almost like this little web effect of having information in the enemy jungle. So very aggressive for them. They're going to be able to take this Roshan very safely because they have you know, this good vision up leading into the Roshan pit. But at the same time, no match this week, really not in a position to contest it anyway.
Nah, not at all. Like, they're so scared. Like, they might have had an idea.
We're looking at a 24K gold difference.
Really?
24,000. I mean, Snow just picked up a Daedalus. This was like a support Kunkka Kappa. Our sniper just bought a Scotty outright. The Spoof is working towards an Aghanims, maybe? He has a point booster and a Ring of Health. We're going to have a big initiation coming in here. Creed's getting silenced out. He uses the Manta to purge it off.
Clint, with his shots and his shrapnel, disabled Bobo's blink. So yeah, this is going to be a free tower.
Uh-oh, Ghost Pepper getting initiated on Bobo to Pro, doing tons of physical damage. Gonna get nuked down immediately, then force-staffed up to the high ground. Juggernaut doing a ton of damage on Snow, and here comes a Ravage from Spoof. Whoa, Creed dies immediately to all those right-clicks. That's so much damage. 416 now on the retreat. Another buyback coming out. Greed has done it as well. Viper has fallen. Bobo to Pro going in with a freaking ridiculous blade mail. Everybody's dying, but it's not enough. Clint Eastwood able to turn around at him. Ghost Pepper's going to fight too. 416 going to die. Creed trying to finish off Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper getting him in the end with that evasion. And now Regalius is going to heal up everybody, and the GG is called. Holy jeez.
And it was just too much of a lead built up from really solid team fights throughout the mid-game. And yeah, there was not a whole lot that no match could really do with that. Very well played by the Dinosaurchestra.
Dinosaurchestra taking it now in a 1-1 series. But as this is a best of two, we're leaving it at that. So I want to thank Mr. Dogysamich for joining me today in this cast of Dinosaurchestra.
I added nothing to this.
You shut your face. I'm thanking you. Whatever. I'm going to thank Mr. Dogysamich for joining me with this Dinosaurchestra victory in the 1-1 series against No Match this week. If you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the content, drop me a follow, twitch.tv/sKaiHIGgaming. You can see me on Twitter at Reach4sKai. And check out my man Dogysamich. You can see him streaming at twitch.tv/DOGYSAMICH and the same tag on Twitter. He does the dotes and the like as well. But until next time, thank you all for being with us.
Thank you.
And keep it sky high.
I don't have a cool catchphrase. I just get to say,
you know, I say it sometimes and then I don't say it other times.
So is that it? Did you cut it?